This is probably the worst chapter I have read in this entire arc. And I sincerely mean that. How's it going, YouTube? I am Joe the Foolish Assassin. Today we're talking about Bleach Chapter 660, The Visible Answer. And like I said in the intro, this is probably one of the worst chapters I have read in the entire arc of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, or Juha arc, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go back to my old format for a second and just recap the chapter, and I'm going to talk about why this is probably one of the worst chapters I ever read from this arc. Okay, so the chapter starts off, Ichigo, it starts off where it left off last. Ichigo, he meets up with Uryu, you see Chad and Uryu running around the corner, because they heard the explosion, they're like, hey, Ichigo, are you alright? And that's when everybody meets up, blink eyes, boom, boom, boom. Alright, Hashwalt says not all the players are here, because obviously he saw everyone being there at that exact moment, because he could see the future. Duh. So he says all the players are here. Uryu, if you really want to prove you're not a traitor, I want you to kill every one of your friends here. And then he, without thinking about it, he starts firing on Ichigo. Ichigo is like, really, why would you, do you really want to pick a fight just because this guy says so? Or he really doesn't say anything. He uses like his sword arrow thing, he shoots it at Ichigo. It hits the ground, it causes an explosion, there's a hole in the ground. Chad, he comes in, he grabs, how Ichigo has the hole in the sword, he grabs that. I'm assuming Uryu fired 2 more shots, shot the ground around them, so that Chad falls while holding Ichigo. Urihime jumps down, activates Santen Keshun, creates a platform, boom, they're in like this lower level within the castle. I'm assuming it's like a lower level in the castle. Alright, so they get down there, and everyone's okay, everyone's fine. Orihime says, oh, I'm glad I activated Santen Keshun in time, I'm glad everyone's okay. Then you see Uryu come out like from the side, I guess because he went like around or whatever. So Ichigo's like, tell us what's going on, tell us why you're doing this, why are you betraying your friends, and blah blah blah. And Uryu pretty much takes his sun key, how they had the sun gates, and they can like jump around the castle or the war road or whatever. So he throws one at Ichigo and Urihime and Chad. He says, I want you guys to take this key, and if you go down the stairs to your left, go around the corner, past the liquor store, there's a gate that's there for the invasion of the real world, or living world or whatever. Which I guess it does present the question, why were they going to invade the living world? Because like there's no one in the living world that's pretty much a threat. Everyone was in Soul Society, and that's the whole point, was to go attack Soul Society so that Soul Society won't stop them from doing whatever the hell they're going to do. And it's kind of like a revenge plan, but yeah, whatever. So anyway, he throws him Sun Key. He says, take the stairs, go to that Sun Gate, go home. And then Ichigo's like, why the fuck are you doing this? Let me understand. If I can understand, it gives me, if I can understand where you're coming from, maybe I can beat some sense into you with a better understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. And then Uryu says, so if you understood, so what if you couldn't understand? And then Ichigo says, knocking your head around a bit starting to sound really appealing right now. And I like the chapter all the way up to that point. Because that was like a really cool dynamic. That was like, Ichigo was like, we all had that moment where we're with our friends and we're like, I really just want to punch you in the fucking face right now. And so it was like, okay, they're kind of building tension. Ichigo's kind of getting pissed off. Uryu's being classic Uryu. And then the chapter just takes a nosedive. He was just like, I want you guys to leave because I'm going to be the one to take down Warwell. And then he just dumps exposition, like, this is my plan, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is how I've been setting up my plan. I had this plan since the beginning. This is, I'm going to use the chips from the Senrai glove, and I'm going to scatter them around the world, and then I'm going to activate the chips, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to create like some type of, reishi net, and it's just going to crush the world and break the infrastructure, and it's going to fall down. And then Ichigo is just like, why would you do this alone? Maybe we can help you. And then Uryu says, well, the chips were passed down from my sensei and they can only be activated with my reishi, which makes sense. That's a good plan, but it's just that exposition dump that just, like, especially when Hashwalt said in the beginning of the chapter and last chapter that he already knows Uryu's answer. Even if he couldn't see the future, why? Why, in all forms of logical reason, would you detail your plan about how you're a traitor after you've been confronted about you being a traitor by the right hand of your leader? Why would you just do that within the vicinity? Like, I know they're in like some bottom part, but what do you think? He's just gonna hang out up there, like, oh well, they fell down a hole. I'm just gonna go get some coffee and just watch the rest of the battles go on. Like, no, obviously he confronted you about being a traitor. Why? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you just dump this exposition within ears, you know, a fucking earshot of the right hand of the guy you're trying to, you know, betray? That doesn't, what? Okay. This is so fucking stupid. Okay, and so after he dumps all this exposition, and then, you know, Ichigo, I guess, understands why he does it, you see Hashwalt come out from the shadows like, see, I told you, I already knew everything you were going to say. This confirms it because you just did exactly what I saw, because I can see the future, because, like I said last chapter, like I said before, me and Juha switch powers, so that means that I can see the future now, and I know everything you're going to do. Like, duh, no. Oh my god, yo. So the chapter ends with pretty much Hashwalt coming out of the background, and that's how it ends. Last week when I read the chapter, I was like, alright, this chapter could go either one of two ways. One, Uryu fights Ichigo, and, you know, it's a one-on-one, and they actually get into a big brawl, and that's going to be our big fight there, you know, for the series between Ichigo and Uryu. Then I was like, okay, maybe it would be a tag team battle between Ichigo, Uryu, Chad and Orihime versus Hashwalt. And lo and behold, this is what's happening. I mean, at the beginning when Uryu started firing those arrows, that's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, okay, because Hashwalt said, if you really aren't a traitor, kill your friends right now. So, and then when Uryu just point blank started shooting, I'm like, okay, that's where we're going. But then when you just get Uryu just dumping his plan like that, like, last chapter, he was literally said to be gifted and talented, and that he shouldn't be in a regular school because his intelligence is far beyond that of a normal student. But he does the stupidest decision that you could possibly do in the worst possible situation, is dumping your whole plan on betraying the team that you're playing, that you're on. Like, within earshot of the guy, of the right hand of the guy you're trying to betray. And on top of that, the right hand of the guy you're trying to betray has all the powers. Oh my god, yo. Even after he said that doesn't make sense to me at all. It's just, like, why would Kubo write Uryu to do that? Like, I could understand if, like, it would be much better if Uryu, like, prior to joining the War Well, joining the Stern Ritters and the Quincy's, he like secretly had someone, or he himself went up to like maybe a few of the captains, maybe the captain commander was like, hey, I got this plan, I think I know what to do, hold these chips, if everything goes as how I'm planning, spread these chips around when you get to wherever the hell we're going or whatever. Or, you know, when he did get earshot of the plan before Hashwalt was at full power, he could have gave the chips to like various members of, you know, the Gote 13, and they could have been spreading them around. And then, you know, because at that time, because prior to Juha being able to see the future, he had pretty much free reign. He could pretty much run around. So he could have easily went up to, you know, a captain, vice captain, visor, fucking Fullbringer, fucking Hollows, I don't know, and gave him these chips, started and said, hey, when we get up to the War World, when we get up to Soul Palace or whatever, spread these things around. So they had to be a plan that was said, like, all right, this is the plan, guys, this is how we're gonna do it, I don't, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why in the fuck would Kubo write Uri just to dump exposition like that? Like, that was the worst possible way he could have did it. Like, okay, let's say he didn't. Let's say he was gonna do it all by himself. Okay, let's entertain the possibility that he was gonna do it by himself, right? Okay, so he goes around, he spreads the chips, you know, boom, 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 boom. Hashwall says, "Hey, I found these chips. They kind of remind me of this old artifact we used to have. You know anything about that? Because I know you got that old artifact. I've seen you use it before." Uri was like, Uri could have been like, "Oh, you know," he could say, "Hey, wait, you don't understand. I have an idea." You know, boom, boom, boom. All right, and so this chapter where he confronts Ichigo and Orihime and Chad, he could have, you know, actually fought them, right? He could have actually fought them, probably seriously injured them, right? And that fight could have been going on, and then at the last moment, where the powers, like, he could have probably kept it going, because I'm quite sure Juha's about to wake up soon-ish. So at the point of their power switching, Uri could have launched a counterattack against Hashwall, probably murdered Hashwall or severely injured Hashwall, probably killed him, and then at that point he could have been like, "Hey, alright, this is the plan. You know, I'm gonna break the war well. I need you guys to get out of here, because when my plan goes into action, it's gonna fucking, you know, shit's gonna get real." He could have did that. That would have been perfect. Or he could have did something like explain to Hashwall, like, "Hey, this is the plan. I'm going to destroy parts of Warworld. Since the Shinigami, they can't control the Reishi here, so they can't create footholds. When those parts of the Warworld get destroyed, they're just going to fall and they're going to die. Kind of like my plan with Ichigo when we shot the ground, but this time it's much better because there's nothing for them to land upon." That would have made more sense instead of just dumping his whole plan within earshot of the guy that can still see the future and has all the powers of Juha. That doesn't, why? Again, this is probably, yeah, I'm officially right now, this is the worst chapter of this arc thus far. I don't know if it can get worse from here. I don't know. It might. Hopefully, it gets better, way much better. Correct English, wow. Hopefully, it gets better from here. God, like, just reading that point of the chapter where Ichigo just dumps all of his whole plan like that is just, why? Crashwater's right there, my God. Like, why would he do? That was just a stupid setup to be like, why? Fuck, this is it. I'm just ranting at this point. I'm not even really reviewing the chapter anymore. It's just fuck. Anyway, I'm sick. Fuck. Anyway, just leave your comments down below, because to me this chapter was a fail. This chapter gets an F. If I had to give it a grade, it gets a fucking F. Because it's just that exposition dump. Maybe a D- because at the beginning of the chapter, but that, again, that was pretty much just a redrawing of how they, you know, when they first went to his, you know, the Soul King Palace, and, you know, he met up with Ichigo the first time. Yeah, it's just an F. I don't like it. I don't want to read the chapter again. I read the chapter way too many times already. Leave your thoughts down below. What did you think of the chapter? Did you find some enjoyment in it? Did you see something that I didn't see in the chapter, which makes the chapter good? Fuck, I can't even see anything good coming out of this chapter besides the possible tag team battle with Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, and Uri versus Hashwall. I want to see how that fight goes. I'm quite sure Hashwall isn't as proficient and as, you know, well trained with his abilities as Juha is, because they're originally Juha's abilities. So I'm quite sure Hashwall probably doesn't have that complete foothold on his powers, on these powers like Juha would have. So it'd probably be to a lesser extent, so he could probably get like an idea what Juha can do with these abilities, but when he gets it, they'll probably be like 10, 20, 30 fold. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Yeah, again, leave your thoughts down below. What did you think of the chapter? I give it an F. It's terrible. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my content, please subscribe. And yeah, man, That's me, Gio the Foolish Assassin. I'll just catch you guys next time.
There's a war going on outside, no place to run and hide. Need to open eyes if you wanna stay alive. Can't wait time when you trying to survive. Even when you die, your whole life should be alive. There's a war going on outside, no place to run and hide. Need to open eyes if you wanna stay alive. Can't wait time when you trying to survive. Even when you die, your whole life should be alive.